Good afternoon. Thank you to the organizing committee for this opportunity to present. I'm Emily Mundy. I'm working for the Olive Ridley project. Myself, I'm based up in Laviani Atoll on an island called Kuredu. So a group of us from the Olive Ridley project, we have been assessing the socio-economic value of sea turtles to the Maldives tourism industry. And we wanted to get this information before the pandemic era. So we were asking, our surveys were focused in 2019. So to give a bit of background, to give a bit of a background, in 2019, there were 1.7 million visitors choosing the Maldives as their vacation destination. Maybe a large amount of them actually came here with the intention to get into the water and experience marine life. So sea turtles are a big part of that marine life. Of the 7 species of sea turtles that we have in the world, 5 of them could possibly be seen in the Maldives. All of these 5 are currently on the IUCN's red list. But it is usually the hawksbill turtle and the green sea turtle that we see on the reefs and lagoons around here, being that they are resident in these habitats that are throughout the country. So most interactions with tourists are with hawksbill and green sea turtles. All sea turtles have been protected in the Maldives since 2016. So we came into doing this survey with several assumptions. Our main assumption is that tourists are coming to the Maldives as a destination because they're interested in getting into the water, and that sea turtles are on their wish list of marine life that they want to see. So we think that sea turtle tourism is actually present throughout the country in all the atolls where we have resorts, local islands, and liveaboards operating. We think that sea turtles are site-specific, and that they are present on these reefs throughout the year, so not really season dependent. And because of these things, we think that there are large amounts of money actually brought into the tourism industry because the Maldives can boast sea turtles. So we live in an age of social media. So some of our assumptions are basically from the fact that when you look at social media posts from people who have been traveling in the Maldives, there's oftentimes sea turtles represented there in their lovely holiday memories. And then sea turtles are also present in TripAdvisor reviews, for example. So I've pulled just a short selection of some advisor reviews that mention turtles to give you a little flavor. So here, for example, amazing experience. We saw sharks, rays, turtles, reef fish. Another amazing afternoons looking at sea turtles, reef fish, sharks, rays. A beautiful place on earth. We saw turtles, different fish, rays. A dream holiday. The turtles, the diving, the flying dogs on the islands were really interesting. And this is a lovely one. On our first day, we swam with a turtle. I nearly cried. The memory will stay with us forever. So just actually lovely things coming out about people's interactions and memories with turtles here. So what we're doing is basically the first estimate of the potential socioeconomic value of sea turtle tourism in the Maldives. So we've created a questionnaire, which is directed just to operators in the country who are doing diving and snorkeling trips with guests. So we have a questionnaire that they could fill out themselves online, but when possible, we did interview them in person or at least over the phone. We did focus on the resorts where we have an Olive Ridley representative base, and then to the resorts where we have contacts in, and now we are casting the net wider. So we want to get as big a picture as we can of this. This is just the beginning. So the results I'm going to show you are preliminary results. So any feedback that you want to give us, please feel free. And please fill out our survey if you are affiliated with an operator and you have not yet. So basically the questionnaire itself is asking operators to let us know how they perceive sea turtles to be valuable to their business. We want to know if they are actually advertising sea turtle specific snorkeling trips and sea turtle specific diving trips as well. If they are, then how much money is actually being brought in through those trips specifically? We also want to know to what extent guests are approaching these operators and requesting to be shown sea turtles. And then, of course, how they think their guests are ranking sea turtles against other marine fauna in the Maldives. So far we have 20 responses back. 15 of those are from operators on resort islands, 2 are liveaboards, and 3 are from operators on local islands. They cover 6 atolls: Laviani, North Male, Lamu, South Ari, Ra, and Vavu. So 10 of the respondents, half of them are Maldivian nationals who responded. They are working in the tourism industry. The other half were expats from a broad range of countries around the world. So of these 20 respondents, 11 of them are currently operating, or at least in 2019, sorry, they are running sea turtle advertised snorkeling trips. 5 of them are running sea turtle advertised diving trips. So that's what that would look like on a graph. Actually, 2 of the operators are running both simultaneously. So there are obviously some kind of dive center that are running sea turtle diving trips, and for the snorkelers, sea turtle snorkeling trips. 9 of them were running only sea turtle snorkeling, and 3 only sea turtle diving. So there were 6 respondents that are not advertising sea turtle trips, but they were still able to answer the other questions that we have on the questionnaire and give valuable information. So looking at the sites where they're actually taking guests out to see sea turtles in these atolls. In Ra Atoll, there was 1 site mentioned for sea turtles. And what you can see in the south there, within the red line, that's an MPA. From Laviani Atoll, there's quite a number of sites known where you can have a medium to high likelihood of finding sea turtles. One of them is within the boundaries of a marine protected area. And there are 2 other sites identified in the far southeast there. In Male Atoll, we do have a number of sites in the northwest and southeast that people are taking their guests to find sea turtles, and as well in South Male, there's 1. They also have marine protected areas in these areas, in these atolls, but so far the sites are not found within them. And then in Ari Atoll, in the north of Ari Atoll, we had 1 site mentioned. In the south of Ari, quite a number of sites. A lot of them are actually within the South Ari marine protected area there. And then in Lamu Atoll, there are quite a number of sites known for sea turtles as well. So also a little bit of a hotspot like Laviani. We know that there are marine protected areas operating now since last year, December. But as the management plans are still under review, we haven't drawn them in the maps yet. But we are still in the process of formulating our study as well. So we asked the operators how they think their guests are ranking sea turtles against other marine life. We divided it between the divers and the snorkelers. So interestingly, the divers, most of the operators think their divers are ranking them in the top 3, and then maybe top 5, top 4. And then the snorkelers were quite different. So 4 of the operators thought, yes, our snorkelers think sea turtles are number 1. And then actually even more than that, number 2. So if they didn't answer number 1, we asked them which marine creatures their snorkelers are requesting to see more than sea turtles. So you might imagine these are the species that were mentioned, coming slightly ahead of sea turtles, so the elasmobranch family, which could make sea turtles as the marine reptiles top 2. It depends how you phrase it. Right? Okay, so in terms of guest requests to see sea turtles, we had several options that they could respond to on the questionnaire. So you'll notice I don't know, never, and once a month were not answered at all. So all of the respondents answered this question. Most of them, so 11 out of 20, were hearing requests to see sea turtles several times per week. And then daily. So up to 6 of them have heard daily requests to see sea turtles, otherwise weekly. So it's a common request, and it's happening very regularly. So we're also interested in how many people are being employed to work on these sea turtle advertised trips. So across the 14 operators that are advertising sea turtle trips, there are 130 people actively employed working on those trips. So that goes through office workers who are doing the bookings and the billings, the behind the scenes, through diving instructors, dive guides, snorkel guides, as well as boat captains and crew. Of those 130 people, 97 are Maldivian nationals. So that's almost 75% of the people employed in these sea turtle trips. Next, we wanted to know actually how businesses are using the fact that we can boast sea turtles in the Maldives to draw guests to their operation specifically. So we asked them if they're actually depicting sea turtles on their website, for example. So are they showcasing photographs or videos of sea turtles on their website to draw people in? Or are they marketing the fact that you can snorkel and encounter a turtle in their area? Or even like actually advertising these trips? Are they decorating their operator with beautiful pictures and decorations and art of sea turtles? And are they increasing their revenue through being able to sell merchandise that features sea turtles to their guests? So things like jewelry, t-shirts, soft toys, stuff like that. So we did also ask them yes or no question, are sea turtles important to your business? 95% of them, which was 19 out of 20, said yes, sea turtles are important to their business. 15 of them are using sea turtle imagery on the website. 15 are using marketing to draw guests in. So the fact that you can encounter sea turtles, they are mentioning this in their marketing. 8 of them are decorating with pictures of sea turtles, and 12 of them are selling merchandise on their operators' premises that features sea turtles. And then talking about the money, so we got answers back, the financial data from 10 of the 11 operators that were running sea turtle trips in 2019. So we wanted to know how many times a week they went out, what's the average number of guests, and how much they charged for these trips in 2019. So from the snorkeling alone, over $885,000 was brought in through just 10 operators doing sea turtle specific snorkeling trips. And then from 5 operators running sea turtle specific diving trips, over $200,000 was brought in. So that's 13 companies that brought in over $1 million just because they put sea turtle on the poster or booking sheet. Sorry. So from our preliminary findings, what we're interested in seeing actually is that visitors are coming to the Maldives. They want to see sea turtles. They're requesting sea turtles, so this is happening quite regularly. Every operator that we've spoken to has heard these requests. Sea turtles are ranked highly by both divers and snorkelers. They are ranked differently, even though they are quite highly. So that's quite interesting. Perhaps the divers, being divers, they're coming to the Maldives already with prior experience of marine life, prior knowledge. They maybe have already encountered sea turtles before and they're looking for something different. They might be diving in locations that are much deeper, that have stronger currents, where sea turtles are less likely to be found, perhaps. Whereas snorkelers, it's possible that they are quite brand new to the ocean environment, that they have very little, limited knowledge and very little experience of marine life. They might be coming with fear of certain species, but they seem to want to see sea turtles. So maybe there is this feeling that sea turtles are not harmful and lovely to snorkel around. Also, sea turtles are foraging and resting in oftentimes quite shallow environments. So you can go snorkeling in a lagoon. You can go snorkeling on a shallow coral reef. That's generally where people are being taken to snorkel. And that's where you can often find sea turtles foraging, sea turtles resting. They're kind of staying in one space. They're not swimming past super fast all the time, so you can actually see them. From our photo identification study, we find that you can often see sea turtles again and again in one site. You can even get to know individuals. This means actually that sea turtles can be expected to be found on trips. If you identify a site near your operation where you know sea turtles to be foraging or resting, you can advertise, you can take people there, you can successfully run a sea turtle trip and give good guest satisfaction. So there are already a number of these trips being advertised already back in 2019. And some of the operators that we interviewed have been running them for many years already. So the industry is aware of this. And we think, yeah, that there has been a financial amount of money coming in because of that. Of course, we want to expand this. We're not going to stop at 20. We want to keep interviewing operators to get as big a picture for the Maldives as we can. So to conclude, sea turtles are found throughout the country year-round, and visitors are requesting to see them. There is a financial gain for operators to advertise sea turtles and to run sea turtle trips. It is acknowledged by the operators that sea turtles are valuable to their business. A lot of the sites where sea turtles can be found regularly are currently lying outside of the bounds of marine protected areas. And there were a couple of operators we interviewed who did note a reduction in sightings of sea turtles over the recent years. So moving forward, this could highlight a need for stronger protection measures. So, as I said before, if you are affiliated with an operator running diving or snorkeling and you haven't filled out our survey, we would love to hear from you. This is my contact details. And do you have any questions?